r/AskReddit. Scene with Enian says, what's the most unexplainable thing that has happened to you? Slip Commercial 5083 says, I woke up from a nap, laughing explosively and uncontrollably. It was one of the scariest things that's ever happened to me. I couldn't catch my breath and I rolled onto the floor clutching my chest. I got so scared and ran to my dad while still laughing. I believe he thought I was joking around, but I sat in the floor and it slowly stopped. Never happened again. Hospital says, sounds almost like you had a random gelastic seizure. Slip Commercial 5083 says, damn, it's time for me to Google. Sounds scary. Fantasy 7 says, a couple things. One of them being a dream about an event that hadn't happened yet with people I hadn't met yet that transpired years later. And another dream that involved me talking to my dead best friend who was alluding to things that I didn't know about my BF at the time that ended up being true. That shit still s me up. Absolute Monkey says, I've had that first thing happen so many times. Naspend Naori says, when your brain's short-term memory and long-term memory get confused, it feels 100% like seeing the future. Like deja vu on steroids. It can be a symptom of epilepsy or severe migraine. Wastejob 6948 says, 2 days after one of my closest nearest friends died, we were semi-expecting it. After he was in a terrible accident, I fell asleep in the library at school. This was after a horrific couple of days trying to process everything and function normally. I was massively sleep deprived. I placed my head in my arms on the library desk, and I woke up and there he was beside me. It was a scenario that had happened so many times, us revising and hanging out in the library together, whispered jokes and banter, that it didn't feel strange at all. We stood up and wandered around, watched one librarian putting books away on shelves. There was a girl reading a book sat on the floor with sickly bright yellow socks. My friend made some silly dad joke about them being too loud for the library. We chatted in low voices, about nothing much, the usual chit chat, and then went back to the desks. I woke up, and he was gone, of course. I was startled but weirdly euphoric. I went over the same set of shelves and had deja vu, saw the same librarian putting away the books and the same girl with the yellow socks still there sat on the floor reading. I swear to this day I hadn't seen them before I went to sleep. I like to think it was his way of saying goodbye. It helped me immensely, even though I know it was probably just a dream. But the socks thing has always stuck with me, and anytime I see a pair of loud yellow socks, not very often, I think of him and our final chat. Jerry9727 says, sorry for your loss, I hope you're doing okay. That's a bittersweet story. I hope when I go it will be something like this for the ones left. Psychological News 573 says, the night my husband's grandfather died, I was jerked from a dream into another, where grandpa was standing on a long dirt road with hot spring spas on both sides with a few people in a couple. He talked to me, telling me he loved all his family, but it was time to go. I woke up to my phone ringing. It was my husband's dad to tell us grandpa's house had burned down with him and the dog inside, and we should go meet the fire department. Dad was driving from 2 hours away. I also had a dream where I died, and I felt nothing but calm. Since that dream, my fear of death has completely gone away. I just hope when I die, it doesn't hurt. A couple weeks later I had a dream where I was driving along a road with the sun high, but at the horizon was another bright light. I was heading toward this horizon, but got the urge to pull over into a detour and do some driving around. I took this to mean my journey is far from over. Plump Shadi says, so far cancer. I'm 21. When I was 20 I was diagnosed with bladder cancer. If you know anything about bladder cancer, it is very common in people who are 70 plus. In people my age or younger, it is exceptionally rare. So rare that from all of recorded medical history until 2010, there was only 125 cases worldwide of bladder cancer presenting in a patient 20 and under. Now I can think of a lot to explain why I got cancer, but even my doctor was baffled. It took 7 months to diagnose because all my doctors were like, there's absolutely no way you have bladder cancer. It's unheard of. Fast forward to the same doctor telling me in all his years as a urologist and all the thousands and thousands of patients he's seen with bladder cancer, I was the youngest by a long shot. Nobody that came to mind has come close to being as young as I'm with the disease. He wants me to take part in genetic testing, so r/AskReddit. What's Mike 73 says. Which TV show is a must-watch? Biscuity 311 says. It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. D64015 says. Breaking Bad. Manigvalu says. Community. #SIXSEASONSANDAMOVIE. Days Lakuthus says. Shogun deserves all the praise it gets. Thekatin Thehad Things says. The Good Place for Moral Ethics. The West Wing for Political Idealism. Star Trek DS9 for social commentary that is relevant to this day. This goes for every Star Trek show, but especially The Next Generation, DS9 and Voyager. And the Orville. Public Creviel 5196 says. Sopranos. Triaish says. Ozark. Learned Hand 01 says. The Wire. Vermicellar 7099 says. Trailer Park Boys. It's a different kind of vibe and humor. You either love it or hate it. Static Seep says. Better Call Saul. Hiron says. Succession. Doctors Awanas says. Mr. In Between. Saturn's Adventure says. The Resident Alien, it's so funny it's on Netflix. Typical Gap 1187 says. Avatar The Last Airbender. Zaziel says. Band of Brothers. Annie Iamani says. Bojack Horseman. Hiverly says. Firefly. Another RNGTRTL says. Peaky Blinders for sure. Castaway 77 says. House MD, one of the best, if not the best medical show. Lost, best mystery show of all time. Monster, best mystery/psych horror show of all time. A Computer says. Dark. Villain of Brandon says. Altered Carbon, sci-fi, action, drama. Better Off Ted, comedy. Black Books, British comedy. Brooklyn Nine-Nine, comedy. Police procedural. Burn Notice, action, drama. Clarkson's Farm, comedy. Farming. Clone High, animated, sci-fi, comedy. Dollhouse, action, drama, sci-fi. Eureka, comedy, sci-fi, drama. The Expanse, hard sci-fi, action, drama. Firefly, sci-fi, action, drama. The Good Place, comedy, drama. The It Crowd, British comedy. Kim's Convenience, comedy, drama. The Last Alaskans, documentary. Letterkenny, comedy. Give Your Head a Shake. Marco Polo, drama. The Newsroom, drama. The Orville, Star Trek, but not outsourced, comedy. Scrubs, comedy. Hospital procedural. Ted Lasso, comedy, drama. White Collar, comedy, drama. Police procedural. The West Wing, drama. Political procedural. Clout 87 says. Currently, The Gentleman, the series. Peaceful World Ilful says. Breaking Bad if you're an adult. Avatar The Last Airbender if under 18. Spookascribe 25 says. The Good Place. No Breakfast 5314 says. Mr. Robot. Jacko Spade says. Warrior on Netflix. Working Rub 8278 says. Call the Midwife. Author Humanity says. Dirk Gentler's Holistic Detective Agency with Elijah Wood. Fantastic show that is as funny as it is dark. Only 2 seasons. Danine says. The Expanse. CBSF3945 says. Metalocalypse, the only show I know that you can go see a real concert at to. Veggie Princess says. If you like scary, watch From. Invenus 123,456 says. Fringe. I'm a computer person says. Three's Company. Microleg says. Rick and Morty. Suitable Avocado 9948 says. Naruto, Dragon Ball Z, Pokemon, all of them, Sailor Moon and are lost. Let It Jet Home says. Snowfall and Wentworth. Polished Pickle 2091 says. Invincible, The Boys, It's Always Sunny in Philly, Ozark, Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul, Black Mirror. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe.